Hey, this is Amelia. Today, in my geometry class, we started reading a book. Well, we didn't start reading it like in class, but he handed us, the teacher gave us, a book called Flatland. It's upside down. Flatland. Whoa, Flatland, a romance of many dimensions. Yeah, and everybody was complaining. They were like, they thought they could get out of having to read the book by saying, Mr. Foreman, did you know, I don't know if you knew this or not, but I have a startling revelation for you, that this is not English class? And he was like, yes, but this is a book about math. So you can read it. And they were like, but we're going to have so much homework, so much. And he was like, look at this book. Look at how thin it is. It is flat, like the land it takes place in. We have to read 4 chapters by Thursday. I already have 5 chapters. Well, like 4 chapters in the start of the 5th one. This is how many pages it is. And yeah, but a lot of people were complaining, but Flatland is actually kind of funny. Like, listen to this. I don't know if any of this is intentional or not. I'm sure some of it's intentional, but some of it isn't, probably. Oh man, I lost it. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. No, I've gone too far. I admit, sorry, I'm starting over because I screwed it up. I admit, said he, when I mentioned to him this objection, I admit the truth of your critic's facts, but I deny his conclusions. It is true that we have really in Flatland a third unrecognized dimension called height. Just as it is also true that you have really in Spaceland. That sounds so exciting, Spaceland. Spaceland, a fourth, capital F. You can't see it, I'm sorry. Fourth unrecognized dimension, called by no name at present, but which I will call extra height. But we can no more take cognizance of our height than you can of your extra height. Even I, who have been in Spaceland and have had the privilege of understanding for 24 hours, whole day, 24 hours, the meaning of height, even I cannot now comprehend it nor realize it by the sense of sight or by any process of reason. I can but apprehend it by faith. That was the wrong section. I read to you the completely wrong section. I cannot find it. Oh, sorry. The reason, it's the next paragraph, I'm sorry, I screwed up. The reason is obvious. Dimension implies direction, implies measurement, implies the more and the less. Now all our lines are equally and infinitesimally thick or high, whichever you like. Consequently, there is nothing in them to lead our minds to the conception of that dimension. No delicate micrometer, as has been suggested by one not too hasty Spaceland critic, would in the least avail us, for we should not know what to measure, nor in what direction. When we see a line, capital L, line, when we say a line, we see something that is long and bright. Brightness, as well as length, is necessary to the existence of a line. If the brightness vanishes, the line is extinguished. Hence, all my flatland friends, when I talk to them about the unrecognized dimension, which is somehow visible in a line, say, you mean brightness. When I reply, no, I mean a real dimension, they at once retort, then measure it, or tell us in what direction it extends, and this silences me, for I can do neither. Only yesterday, when the chief circle, in other words, our high priest, came to inspect the state prison and paid me his 7th annual visit, and when for the 7th time he put me the question, was I any better? I tried to prove to him that he was high, as well as long and broad, although he did not know it. But what was his reply? You say I am high. Measure my highness, and I will believe you. What could I do? How could I meet his challenges? I was crushed and left the room triumphant. Why did you leave the room triumphant? What? No, you didn't leave the room triumphant. You couldn't convince him. I don't understand. But yeah, I read that and I was like, highness? Really? It's called high. But then I realized we use the word highness. It means a thing. We use that word. So really, instead of saying your highness, we could say your height. I am a genius. And the other part that I wanted to share with you, I guess I didn't tell you what Flatland is about. It's about this world where everyone is flat shapes. Yeah. Well, this one's good too. It's talking about how the shapes tell each other apart since they're flat, so they can't actually see what shape they are. Feeling is among our women in lower classes. About our upper classes I shall speak presently. The principal test of recognition, at all events between strangers, and when the question is not as to the individual but as to the class, what therefore introduction is among the higher classes in Spaceland, that the process of feeling is with us. Permit me to ask you to feel and be felt by my friend Mr. So-and-so is still, among the more old-fashioned of our country gentlemen in districts remote from towns, the customary formula for a flatland introduction. But in the towns and among men of business, the words be felt by are omitted, and the sentence is abbreviated to, let me ask you to feel, Mr. So-and-so, although it is assumed, of course, that the feeling is to be reciprocal. Of course. Among our still more modern and dashing young gentlemen, who are extremely averse to superfluous effort and supremely indifferent to the purity of their native language, the formula is still further curtailed by the use of to feel in a technical sense, meaning to recommend for the purposes of feeling and being felt. And at this moment, the slang of polite or fast society in the upper class sanctions such a barbarism as Mr. Smith, permit me to feel Mr. Jones. So yeah, I actually kind of like Flatland. I think it's pretty cool. I don't know what your guys' deal is, although what I do not like is why do the shapes, the flat shapes on a piece of paper need to have a gender binary? That's kind of silly, the shapes. Why do they have, and I'm aware that according to the back of this book it is, where does it say? Where does it say? It's gone. No, maybe it's in the front of the book. No. Where did it go? Where did it go? See, I'm sorry. It's about Victorian social mores. Oh, it didn't say that on the book. Our teacher told us that. Our teacher told us that, so I logically know that that's why he wrote it that way, but it doesn't make any sense. Well, the women are the lines and the men are shapes. Yeah. So yeah, you should read Flatland. Or don't, because it's so long and you won't have time to do your homework, and you're not in English class anyways. This is the part of the video where I tell you to like if you liked the video, subscribe if you want to see more of me, drop a comment if you want to say something, and read the about. I don't know if I'll even write anything. Yeah. But anyways, you don't do any of the things. Just do whatever you want. You don't have to like if you liked it. Or do.